Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, I'm at Daggett, California, just east of Barstow. And this is the interlocking for the Union Pacific and the BNSF. The Union Pacific, see that train parked out there behind me? That is the Salt Lake route. That's the one that goes up to Salt Lake, imagine that. But anyway, the UP will get on here and share trackage rights from this point through Barstow and down the Cajon Pass, and go into Los Angeles that way and San Bernardino. But anyway, we got a track inspector backing up there. Spoke with him a minute ago because there are trains in every siding from Edwards to Barstow, and then out on it's double track this side of Barstow, and there are trains sitting side by side on double track from the yard out to here. I counted 6 trains, and it's, well, I don't know, it's what, 12 miles? Not very far, but you can see that train there behind me. He said they had a broken rail here this morning and another one in Ludlow earlier, so things kind of got backed up and the dispatcher was doing other things. I thought the dispatcher's job was to dispatch trains, but evidently not all the time. But anyway, it's a beautiful day, breezy and cool, awesome. On my way to Arizona, and I don't know if they have changed that rail already or if they're getting ready to, but anyway, let's see if one of these trains decides to move. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but we're going to find out. This train started moving. The track inspector did tell me that they're moving these trains at 10 miles per hour through here, so hurry, you're tooting for the track gang up there. That standard practice. See the UP sitting out there. I don't recall the exact date that the UP and the Santa Fe entered into a joint trackage agreement over Cajon Pass. And I say Union Pacific when that was first organized. It was the Los Angeles and Salt Lake Railroad, and UP eventually took them over. As during that period, the Harriman era of the Union Pacific took just about everything over out here in the west. Well, since this train was so long and going so slowly. I'm going to come up here to the crossover at the east end of it here. He is crossing over. See, there's another train sitting down there. When I came in, there were, as I said earlier, there were two behind him, but evidently they're getting some of those moving, or this guy would still be sitting here. And at some point, I do plan on doing a piece about crossovers. I think I might have mentioned that in one of my derailment videos at Cable. And talk a little bit about how crossovers work, why they have them, and when they use them. Pretty straightforward stuff, but there can never be too much information, in my opinion, about this stuff. Now you can see that guy is still sitting there. That train appears to be going the other way. The only reason I say that, it's only got 2 units on the head end, or on the point, whether that's the rear point or the head point remains to be seen. And I'm not going to stick around here long enough to find out, because I want to get going. I still have a long trip ahead of me. See the UP out there. The Yermo yard is, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles out that way, maybe a little further. It's been a while since I've been out there. All right. Westbound BNSF through the interlocking at Daggett. Out there is the Yermo facility. That is United States, I believe it's the Marines logistics base out there. And then there's another one out that way. And I don't know if they're tied together or what, but it's out, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles down the road that way. Big old facilities. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go out to Ludlow and see what we can see. All right, I drove up here about 2 miles from where I was. You can see the end of the train down there. That is actually, let's see, I don't know, there's trains all over the place out here too. So, but I believe that was the head end of that train down there where I was, even though it just had the 2 units on it. There's a train on the other side of this train, so they're sitting side by side here. And then this guy is sitting right on this guy's tail. He's stretched out up past that set of signals up there. I'm not familiar with the area, so I don't know if that is a control point or if those are intermediates. But they are nose to tail out here and not moving much. But hopefully out at Ludlow, I will be able to catch something moving. All right, we've arrived at Ludlow, California. Ludlow was once an important station on the Santa Fe. That is Interstate 40 over there. But this was an important water stop for Santa Fe. I can't remember if it was a division point. That's another history book I didn't bring with me. It was also where the Tonopah and Tidewater Railroad tied in with the Santa Fe Railroad. The Tonopah and Tidewater went that way up to the north to Beatty, Nevada. Actually, the tracks went all the way to Goldfield, but I believe the Tonopah and Tidewater stopped, at Beatty Junction. That's another history book I didn't bring with me, and I didn't bring those with me by design. That was an office building, general store at one time. It's collapsed a little more, or at least that, or it's been vandalized a little more since the last time I was here in 2017, I think it was. But yeah, my suitcase already weighed about 100 pounds, and I had enough stuff. All right. I did some stills. After I stopped and showed you the trains sitting there by that power plant this side of Daggett, right as I got back in the truck, this train went by. And he is not messing around. I got on the freeway, I had to get back out of where I was down off the road and then drive all the way out here, and I probably got here less than 5 minutes ago, so this guy is booking. Between Edwards was where I saw the first train stopped in a siding, which is about 30 miles the other side of Barstow. Between there and here, not including this train, I saw 17 trains stop. And well, I guess that one of them was moving. He was at Daggett, the one that I shot going by. I've never seen that many trains in that short a distance just sitting there. Pretty impressive when you think about all the traffic that would be on the road on Interstate 40 were it not for all those trains. All right. Eastbound at Ludlow. All right, well, I am out here at a place called Goffs, one of the viewers, one of you suggested that I come out here and check this out, watch a train working up this hill. Highway 66, right over there. Whoop, remind me of when we moved to from Bakersfield to Georgia when I was 12 years old back in 1971. This is the same train that I saw at Ludlow. I actually saw him out at Daggett too, but I didn't get a chance to shoot him. I was poorly timed. That is Interstate 40 over there. And I wish I had some really cool stories to tell about this place, but I don't. Other than the fact that in 1971, we drove right by there, or right by here, in our Volkswagen Beetle. Me and my mom, my sister, and our dog Gopher. And all of our clothes and our TV. It was quite the adventure. I always say that I'm sure my mom didn't see it like that, but my sister and I sure did. Post 620.5 is where this bridge is. I'm not sure where BNSF starts their milepost. If you know, please leave the comments below. I think somebody told me at one time, but I can't remember. And if I ever read it in one of my books, I don't remember that either. The desert, I always say, has its own peculiar beauty. I wouldn't want to live in the desert, but I sure do like coming out here and scrounging around and exploring places. Ride the dirt bike. But for those of you who enjoy living in the desert, rock on. All right. It's going to be the last California train I shoot. I'm going to get scooting on into Arizona. I still got to get all the way to Williams. It'll take me probably 3 or 4 more hours, but I do want to get there. All right, here he goes. Man, it's sorry I've been moving around. It is windy. Get a little idea of the wind. You can look at the river and see how the wind's blowing the ripples downstream. sandblasted here. There ain't even no sand around here. The containers are blocking the wind a little bit. That's comfortable. See the old water tank there. We're in, I don't know if it's Topock or Topock, Arizona. First little community across the river. Know nothing of the history of this stop. It's a water tank. It must have had a station of some sort here at one time. They had a water tank just like that out at Edwards into the 80s, and they finally got rid of it. That one, if you can see, the top of it's all thrashed and gone. But it still looks cool. River over there makes its little S turn right here at the border. Cool to catch a meat here, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. See this sign here that says caution high rail vehicles lift frog. See the piece that I did on frogs in my How Things Work on the Railroad playlist. We have these style, they call them jump frogs on the UP. These ones actually have high guardrail type things on them there, you can see. But they don't actually have a point. The flange just rides up over the top of the frog and drops back into the turnout. But essentially the same thing as a jump frog. Stay tuned for my piece on what all the signs mean that I could find on the Union Pacific. Heard me say in the other video how many trains there were stopped between Edwards and Ludlow. Well, between Ludlow and here is the same thing. You can't see all the tracks. They aren't next to the freeway in many places, but wherever you could see tracks, you could see trains and sidings. And they were still running some, but they were parked everywhere. westbound. BNSF, leaving Arizona, crossing the Colorado River, headed into California to Needles. All right. Cool video, huh? All right, keep shooting me the ideas. Leave the comments below. Shoot me an email, 10459@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We will see you tomorrow.